Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. So today, new book. Today's book is called The Energy Bus by John Gordon. So 5 days, and today I'm going to go over a summary of the book and some of my thoughts on it. And then the next 4 days, there's 10 rules that the author goes over on being positive and having more energy and being more focused on things. So we're going to go over those things over the next 4 days. So for today, I'm going to give you a little background on this book. So this author, I went to a Century 21 convention. So many of you, probably all of you, may never have heard of this book. So I went to a Century 21 convention many years ago, probably 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And this author was there, and this was his book. And he did one of those, we were in group setting. I think it was just for brokers and managers, from what I remember, because we were in a small setting. We were on like kind of round tables in a big conference room area, maybe like 100 of us, 150 of us in the room. So me personally, kind of preface, I am not the biggest fan of group, like getting into groups, like spontaneously, like I didn't know it was happening. Like all of a sudden, thought I'm going to be an author of a book and kind of go over his book and teach us a few things, but kind of got us into groups, and we kind of learned a lot about ourselves and interacting with these people. So it's a kind of a group setting, group meeting, group effort here. So I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about that. But this author, we didn't read the book first, but he kind of went over some of these rules, and then I bought the book on the way home and read it on the way home, and really put a lot of this in perspective and kind of made it my own of some of the things. So it's a very easy read. It's kind of he has some neat stories in there, examples of life. So if you get it, it's a very easy read. So The Energy Bus, he tells a cool little story about like a negative person and how you could change that with how the energy that you have each day. So I'm going to go over a little bit of that story, and today I'm going to kind of go over just to give you an example of the 10 things, the 10 rules, and then we're going to go more in depth. So first, I'm going to kind of go over the first rule and go over that. The first is to be aware that this is your life and you're in charge and no one else. So we've said that before, and many other things. Second rule, create a firm vision of your life and focus on making it real. So I'm telling you all of these so you could, maybe there's some things like, wow, that's really neat. I like that. I want to listen to more of the days, the rest of the week. Third, your life must have purpose. So make your vision as meaningful as possible. Fourth, always radiate positive energy. Fifth, the more enthusiastic you are about what you do, the better it will go, always. Sixth, surround yourself with people who share your vision and can help you attain it. Seventh, demonstrate your love to the people who matter in your life. And that was a little bit my motivational quote or my picture today on Facebook, if you saw that. Eighth, don't worry about naysayers who don't support you or your vision. Direct your energy towards people who believe in you and will help you reach your goals. Ninth, avoid energy vampires. I can't wait to this part. I love this part. I love that term, energy vampires. Negative people who undermine your success and joy. If they're on your team and won't change their attitudes, get rid of them. And 10th, that we'll be going over later this week, you get only one bus ride in life. Savor each and every day of your life. Love that. That's great. So those are the 10 rules that the author, John Gordon, goes over, and we're going to go more in detail. But I'm going to kind of go over today 2 quick things. One, a little bit of the experiment that we kind of did in the group setting. And 2, I'm going to kind of briefly go over the story that was in the book that was really neat. So first, the group thing that we did as a group, he had us all stand up. We're all in a room. We're all in round tables, It said, pick a partner really quick. And 2 things he did. First, go up to those people. We're all doing this in a group, and try to say hello or a greeting to someone, but in a very negative way. Just lackluster, not in a happy mood, just, hey, how you doing? In a very not negative and or not enthusiastic, not positive way. And everybody in the room was going around saying hi to people. We were going around in a negative way. And really, when you have, it's really neat. I mean, if you've ever been in a convention, and if you've ever been in a big group, and you see the positive energy, and you can feel it like you're in a concert, you're in a big group setting, back before COVID, where you're in big groups, and you feel the energy. This was like one of the first times it was negative energy in a big group. So it was really weird because, I mean, I don't think any of us go to we're in a big area with 100 people, 200 people, and all of a sudden everybody in the room is trying to be negative or non-enthusiastic. And wow, you really can feel that. You could really feel the negativity because you're not used to it. Yeah, I'm used to going to concert, everybody's happy. I'm going to conventions, rah, rah, everybody's positive. Every time we go to things, because that's what we love. We want to feel good, so we go to big groups. But this was a neat kind of, at first, when I, like, oh boy, we're getting in groups. What is he going to do? And I was like, wow, the negativity, you could really sense that. I know, we all know that when we see someone or we're around people or just one-on-one, we could feel the negativity or feel the non-enthusiastic or the not positive attitude, and we kind of feel that a little bit. But when we get a big group, wow, you really feel it. So that he made his point with that, and then he had us go around the room talking and just greet people with a positive attitude or just feeling positive. You don't have to be crazy enthusiastic, but just be positive and polite, and it does make a big difference in the feel of the energy. So I'm a big energy type person because one of the things, I'm kind of going off on a little tangent here, giving you a little tip on some of the things that I'm going to talk about later this week, is that you don't always have to be a cheerleader. You don't always have to be the most enthusiastic person in the world, but can you be a positive person? That's how I feel like I am, and maybe you feel the same way, is that you are a positive person, and you might not be the most enthusiastic, you might not be the most outgoing, you might not be the biggest cheerleader, but you're still positive and people feel that. That's how I hope I am to a lot of people too. But have you ever met those people? I'm sorry, I'm kind of going off in tangent. I'm going to, again, talk more about it later this week, is that have you ever been those people that are cheerleaders, but you could just tell it's on the surface? There's no substance to it. Behind them, they're not positive. They're negative. You could tell that they're not behind you or believe in you or they're following you or they're going to or understand what you're saying. If there's a team member or a boss or another colleague or even family or friends, you have those cheerleaders that are so enthusiastic, but they're so fake. That's, and we're going to go more in detail. So that's what this exercise did. It made me feel that in a big group setting, how your energy, how your positive energy, even outgoing, it can be affect the people that you're with, and also if they think you're being fake, how it could bring down their energy. So we did this. I'm not going to go into too detail, but we did different things like this, and introducing ourselves, talking to people in a group, and going around the room and saying things to each other. But it was a really neat exercise. Of course, like I said at the beginning, I'm like, oh boy, here we go, group setting, and it's going to get us into groups, and I have to talk to everybody, and I just want to listen to what he has to say. But it really was a good thing. And when I read the book, it really put that in perspective of that. So we're going to kind of go more in detail about those feelings and those thoughts that I learned from this author firsthand during this this exercise. But lastly, I'm going to kind of go over the neat little story that they tell in the book, and kind of goes throughout the whole book. It's basically about George. George is like a negative person, and the summary of the story is that George had a simple thing. This is where the energy bus comes into play, is that George, his car broke down, things were not going well for him at his work, and things were not going well at home, but he had to take the bus for 10 days to get to his work because his car broke down. And in the bus, the author's character was this bus driver, Joy, who has the energy bus. Her goal in life as a bus driver was everybody who gets on that bus would be positive, affect their day in a positive way, help them, have better energy and not so negative. So George, being the negative person, getting on this bus every day for 10 days. And of course, you probably already know you could probably put the piece together at the end of the story in the book. George is a positive person, and his people at work, his wife and at home and people around him saw a big change in him because he had positive energy at the start of every day, and from this bus driver, Joy, that was trying to explain to him these rules. So she explained to him these 10 rules in 10 days that we're going to go over the next 10 days. So it's a neat little fun story, but really puts it into perspective on how it could be for you. So the takeaways today of what I'm going to be going over is that I'm going to go over these 10 rules. I'm going to give you a little, I'm going to put my twist on it and how to use it in business a little bit and in real estate. And also I put my twist in it. This is one of my main points I'm going to make this week is that you don't, and this is my twist if you read the book, is you don't have to be a cheerleader all the time. You don't have to be the most, because when I started reading, I'm like, do I have to be the most energetic person? Do I have to be a cheerleader? Do I have to be like and the most enthusiastic person in every room every day? No, you don't. So the energy bus is more of not positive energy. Positive energy it doesn't have to be always outright out of your mouth, loud cheerleader type energy, but just having a positive energy on how you look at things and how you start the day and how you interact with people in a positive way could really affect your relationship, could help you, and kind of put that negativity or non-positive. This is my take on it. Non-positive things, like just being like a ho-hum about certain things, just doesn't help you get to the next level with your relationships, with business, with real estate on that. So that's it for today. Just a little summary of those 10 rules, a little bit story background about the background of this author and how I became in contact with them the first time, and a little bit of the story that goes along with these rules are in there. So if you get a chance, download the book, read along, kind of go through it with these rules that I'm going through. It's a great thing, great book. So pick it up if you can. So tomorrow at 11, we'll be going over the first 2 to 3 rules of the energy bus. So thank you very much for watching today. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.